Good morning to all of you. Very happy to be here to share. Today my topic is really about, from traditional business and then how do I envision kind of the future of food. And just a little bit of background. So I come from a family business, and we are a 76-year-old company. We produce rock sugar, red jaggery sugar, and black jaggery sugar. And I guess because we're in the sugar industry, so like our previous speaker, not the most sexy kind of industry. And within our own business, we try to do more on sustainability. For us, a little bit limited as well because we don't own the farms. So what we can do is really thinking about the packaging, using, in those days, my grandfather would use all the the waste materials to produce something else, which is our orange sugar, the ones that you use for putu mayam, and that's really this kind of sugar. We use our rock sugar waste to create this, so that in his own time it was really trying to save money, but in today's context it's really trying to make use of whatever you can, and then in a way sustainability as well. And then in terms of packaging, we have also started to use better materials as well, more environmentally friendly, but at the same time, in those days where we had the outer packaging, it was actually recycled from your raw material packaging. So some of the things that we have done. So I came into the business about 13 years ago, and I was really focused on trying to modernize the traditional business. And 7 years down the road, I developed my own range of products that were more B2C. And that was something, kind of finding my passion in the business. And I wanted younger generation to know that you can use rock sugar in your everyday lives, and that's the form of jewels, which are basically like a stirrer in your drinks, or like a candy where you can have your rock sugar in different flavors and colors to pair with your beverages. So this was something that in the family business I wanted to really create something on my own. And then before that was really, just learning the ropes, learning from the employees that we had for more than 70 over years. More than 30 over years in those times, from my father's time, my grandfather's time even. So in a way, it was a journey, a transformation for me from joining the business. I graduated from SMU, and they're one of the organizers here as well. And basically, from a very traditional business, landed myself, tried to do something different. And along the way, I discovered new and more interesting things that I found more passionate, or was more passionate about as well. And during COVID, we also set up an e-commerce platform with Enterprise Singapore, and it was really to try to help companies go digital, go to market, and really try to help them go global. So this is something that we did as well. So these are some of the brands on it as well. We also do pop-ups. But I think where really today, and today's topic is really very relevant, is that in 2018, the family decided, it's time to kind of pay it forward, because during my time in the business, I actually learned a lot of things from our partners and people who were supporting us as well, trying to innovate. And one of the reasons why we went into this area was because we wanted to find new products that we could sell through our distribution, and at the same time we're building a new factory. So I had the opportunity in 2017, together with Enterprise Singapore, to go travel around the European hotspots to try to make our traditional business more innovative, tap on more R&D. And I went around, I looked at the different technologies out there, and I kind of recognized that for us to innovate, it was a lot of challenges. It took a bit of time. And while we were building our new factory, we had more space. And so we thought, hey, why not we help startups instead? We can take their products through our distribution. And at the same time, the government was calling for the Accredited Mentor Program. And they said, hey, John, do you want to be part of this program? And I was like, oh, wait until I finish building my factory, then let's talk about that. But at the end of the day, I thought, okay, just why not try, just submit the application. And then we got the Accredited Mentor status. Anton knows. And then in 2018, so we officially started our incubator at that time. And I met the very first startup, our very first startup, which was Shop Meats. They are growing shrimps in the lab, cell-based. So without the head, without the tail, just growing, your cells. And then later along the way, we had insect protein, we had alternative plant-based eggs. We saw a lot of things in the agricultural world as well, especially like regenerative agriculture, and that's represented by the seaweed. Then we had vertical farms, and last year I visited Israel, which was basically one of the startups was making your stick, cell-based stick. So that's what I'm holding up. And then local company doing soy, basically taking a packet of tofu, that liquid that comes out of it, and making alcohol. So these are some of the things that really is what I see and do every other day. I also get a lot of opportunities to taste. So I've tasted cell-based chicken. I've tried fish fat made from cells, cell culture, so you grow in the lab. But it's not everything all grown in the lab that excites me. I think it's the possibility of creating something unique, novel, that would not rely so much on the planet's resources. Just down there, because the ones above, so Singapore only approved the sale of cell-based meats in 2021. And it's very limited in terms of if you want to try. But what you can try today is something from Cool House. So if you go to FairPrice, you can actually try precision fermented microflora. So basically they take plants and then they create whey protein, which is very similar to your milk, right? And they make ice cream. That's on the picture. And Solar Foods is another company, but you won't be able to try it yet. I think in 2024, then you might see it come out, which is basically protein made from air. So just a quick video about Innovate 360, just give you an idea what we do, how the sound works. So that's a little bit, quite a summary about Innovate 360. So I started this in 2018, and it was kind of like the innovation arm of our business. We are basically appointed by APAC as a food technology partner in food security. But at the same time, we also are accredited partner with Enterprise Singapore to help startups with grants. And so we are providing spaces to startups, co-working spaces, kitchen, labs, production spaces. And that really helps the startups to scale, and also we help them to go to market. And of course, we have our own funding as well, and then we have also an accelerator program. So these are some of the spaces at Innovate 360's Innovation Hub. Today we have 3 facilities across Singapore, and we work with our partners as well. Actually, Mewa is one of our partners. Their other company, Futura Ingredients in Malaysia, is one of the key partners that we work with to help our startups to scale beyond Singapore, especially where production is cheaper in Malaysia. And then for us, we look at 11 out of the 17 SDGs. And then basically we help startups, to really tap into the ecosystem. So we're looking at agri-food tech startups in the early stage all the way to Series A. It's not just connections with the institutions, but with the corporates as well. It's also global lines that we have created with our partners, because we know we cannot do everything ourselves. And we work with different partners from I see Prof. Annie pointing to Cynthia, who's the next speaker. So we've also partnered with them for the Indonesian market. So every market is kind of represented, and our focus is really trying to help our startups gain access to Southeast Asia. So some of our mentors and partners, and of course, because this is a family business forum, we've also involved a lot of our mentors who are from family businesses as well. So they act as mentors to actually help our startups, to help them, to give them advice, help them to open doors and connect as well, and see whether it's relevant for their own businesses as well. So where we really, differentiate ourselves is that we are the industry, for the industry, by the industry. So we help our startups gain access to the industry. And one of the key things this year that we launched together with a corporate was with Nestle. So we are appointed in Asia, the first accelerator that actually has a program with them. So they bring their talents. They actually have a selected employees that they actually mentor startups for a 1-year period. So these are some of the things that we do apart from workshops, speed dating, tastings, quite obvious activities. And we also have a fund. So we just set up a fund this year. It was really focused on investing in global startups with a focus in Asia, because by 2050 we will have 65% of the population from Asia, and we don't have enough resources to feed the population, so we need to start somewhere. But we also look at investing in startups that are Asian origin, looking at the global market. And also our fund looks at early stage startups all the way to Series A. And then for the Accredited Mentor program, which I mentioned earlier on, with Enterprise Singapore, we give out grants. It's a $50,000 equity-free grant. So these are some of the startups that are part of Innovate 360. So we have 120 startups since 2018. So we support 4 verticals, as you saw in my video earlier on: deep tech, agri-tech, food sustainability, and health and wellness. Because they are Singaporean companies, we kind of enjoy a lot of the free trade agreements, but a very supportive government, especially one that works very closely with private sector. So this is something that I think is very attractive, especially for local startups as well as foreign startups kind of set up in Singapore. And that's where we, Innovate 360, kind of play this platform to actually help startups. And these are some of our startups. We have cell-based milk, cell-based shrimps, and a lot more kind of events and activities that we do in the last couple of years. media, and then even mentions by DBM Heng during the budget. So this is something that we also started in 2018, which was something that we try to bring the public and private sector together, really trying to focus on raising awareness of food sustainability, innovation, and collaboration. And this is Feed 9 Billion. It's a non-profit today. And we launched the Good Food Startup Manual with some of our partners like who are here as well. I see really to help startups to try to access resources as well. So we've launched with the Good Food Institute the Good Food Startup Manual in 2019. 2021 we did the alternative protein database, and last year we actually launched the Singapore Restaurant Week together with STB to promote alternative proteins as a new way of living. So these are some of our partners, and it's covering all over Asia. Yeah, so I guess where I'm coming from is really the fact that I've been in my family business, and we look at opportunities in trying to be more sustainable, but we realize that we only can do it really through our startups, where they can create more impact. And at the same time, while doing that, I've kind of developed and understood a lot more in terms of the new generation of food, how it impacts us, and this is something that at the end of the day, I hope that all of you might have a chance to try some plant-based meats for now, and then later on maybe some alternative proteins, cell-based, and whatever you have. So those are things that would actually create a big change for us, who are stewards of the world, of the population, and of course, this is for the future. And so with that, I hope that we have opportunities to collaborate, whether or not it's through the program as mentors or the VC fund. This is my contact, and I thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much.